Let's talk about skills. Today, I'm going to share with you how to handle the objection. I want to think about it. I want to sleep on it. I want to think it over. All the same, right? At the listing appointment, obviously. And this is going to be broken down on how to handle this objection between today and next week, because I don't want this to be a 30-minute video. So I'm going to break it up, and we're going to start with you're over the phone and you learn when you're pre-qualifying your appointment that they are interviewing other agents. Sometimes they just volunteer that information. They tell you, even before you start pre-qualifying, I already have an agent, I already scheduled a couple of appointments. If they don't say it, you're going to have to ask questions, and you have the pre-qualifying script. And let's say now you know they're interviewing other agents. What you need to do right here on the phone, I'm going to give you objection handlers for this at the appointment. Hang on. But what I want you to do right now over the phone is you need to ask, who is it that they're going to be interviewing? And there's reasons for that. I've mentioned it on some of the live calls. The more prepared you are, the better chance you have of getting the listing signed. And knowing your competition is a critical part of you being able to get the listing signed when they're interviewing other agents. Now, if you don't ask, you're not going to know. Because some of you, I don't want to ask that. They're not going to tell me. Or if you don't ask, they're definitely not going to tell you. So you have to ask. And guess what? When you do, a good 80% of the time, they tell you who the agent is. So the way to ask, where you're more likely to actually have him respond, is ask casually. Don't get weird. Don't say, well, like some weird tone of voice. You can, when they say, no, I'm interviewing other agents, you could say something like this. Oh, interesting. Well, Mr. Seller, there are only a few agents in our marketplace that actually sell a lot of homes. I may know the agents that you're interviewing. Who is it that you'll be speaking with? That's one way to say it. So, or you could just say, oh, I'm just curious. Who are the agents that you'll be talking to? Casually. When you do it correctly, you're going to get their names most of the time. And now what do you do with this information? Well, you're going to go find out who these agents are and what kind of results they produce. I call it doing a report card on your competition. So a report card is, you're going to start by going in the MLS. You're going to type in their name as listing agent, and just two separate searches, as listing agent. And you're going to find out in the search criteria, you're going to put closed sales in the last 12 months. And you're going to see how many listings where they were the listing agent were sold. You're going to find out how many active listings they have. You're going to find out how many expired listings they had in the last 12 months. When you look at the sales in the last 12 months, what was the average days on market for the listings they took that sold? What was the list to sales price ratio? So you have these listings in front of you. You have a column for list price, for sale price, and then you could figure out what it is. Is that going to take a long time? No, it's not. When you do it for the first time, it may take a little bit of time because you're getting used to, the search and what you're doing. But you've got to get used to doing this all the time, because and by the way, you should print this information somehow, the actual results, the number of closed sales, the days on market, the list to sales price ratio, the number of expired listings. You should have that information with you in your briefcase at the appointment. Should you need to use it, you'll have it there. Listen, you should never badmouth or say anything negative about another real estate agent. It's just, I don't know if it's unethical. I've never done that. I think it's probably unethical. It's just not something you want to do. It's totally unnecessary, and that's not what I'm asking you to do. What I'm asking you to do is find out who this agent is, or agents are. If it's more than one, you're going to have to do the research for each and every one of them, and have that information readily available with you at the appointment, so you can share that information with the seller should it be necessary. Well, is that wrong to do? Why would it be wrong to do? You're just sharing what is. It's this agent stats. It's the truth about what is. When a homeowner is considering a few agents that they could possibly list with, would it be useful for that homeowner to actually check out some stats and know who they're considering? Absolutely. So not only the information in the MLS, you should also figure out, and you can find out how. I mean, I know how to do it in my area, in my state. How long have they been in real estate? Is this an individual agent, or do they work with a team? Is it the team leader of a team, or are they an agent in somebody else's team? Usually when it's a team, the name in the MLS will be the leader of the team, not their agents under them. So the point is, you want to know how long, what kind of, and by the way, I was going to say what kind of experience they have. How long they've been in real estate and had a license speaks nothing to the experience that they have. Obviously, the stats in the MLS, yeah, they actually do speak for themselves. And how you would use this information, it depends on what you find, and it depends on where you are in your business, in your career. You may be an experienced agent whose stats are much better. List sales price ratio, average days on market. You have fewer expires. This agent has a lot of expires. Obviously, how you're going to use all of this, it depends on what you find and who you are. Even if you are a brand new agent, you can use whatever stats you find, whether they look really impressive to you, because, okay, let me just backtrack for a moment. When an agent is new to real estate, I know I was new to real estate a long time ago, and I had those same thoughts. When we're new and we have little experience, we hallucinate, which is a hallucination. It's a story we make up and we end up believing it, because when you make up a story, if you repeat it to yourself enough times, you end up believing it, and then you think it's true. That someone that have been in real estate for 10 years, I just got a license, they have more knowledge than me. They have more experience. They know what they're doing. How is a seller going to list with me when I'm brand new? When, there's somebody else that they're interviewing that has 20 years or sold 100 homes last year or has a big team, whatever. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters, and again, you could use these stats in your favor every single time. How to use these stats is a better conversation for us to have on a live call where I can role play. And there are role plays. If you go on Tuesdays and Thursdays on live calls and you use the search bar and you use a keyword, you're going to find role plays, but we can do them again. The point is, you could always use these statistics and information in your favor, whether you're brand new or you're an experienced agent, whether you're a single agent or you're the leader of a team. It doesn't matter. You could always do it. And I want you to think about this. I was thinking about what I said. Obviously, I was brand new to real estate one day, and I took my very first listing and the second and the third, and I was selling real estate in a very competitive market. Very competitive in South Florida. It's one of the most competitive real estate markets in the country. And I remember all day long with FSBOs and expired, especially expired. FSBOs, there were very few agents that were going after FSBOs. There were some. Most of them, in the beginning, I didn't know what I was doing. Nobody seemed to know what they were doing. When I figured out how to have that price value conversation, it was game over. I mean, every FSBO was mine if I wanted them. The point is, with expireds, though, even more competitive than FSBOs. And some of the agents that like a seller, an expired seller would be interviewing when I got an appointment, especially in my first 2 years, I had no clue what I was doing. I mean, I was competing with agents that had been in real estate for 20 years and was selling 100, 200 homes a year. And it's intimidating. I get that. I understand that. But there is a way for you to present yourself in a position of power and more beneficial to the seller in every single situation. It all starts with you believing that. Just because you're brand new, it doesn't mean somebody that has been in real estate for 20 years or sold 100 homes is better than you. You may be brand new, but you got that fire in you. You're committed, and you don't have 10 or 20 listings. This seller is going to be your one and only priority. You know exactly what to do to sell this home and find a buyer, and you're not going to stop until it happens. Hey, that's a conversation to be had. But see, you got to have the belief in yourself. The stats are going to help you. Every successful business on this planet, they know who their competition is. Not just real estate. Every successful business, they know who their competition is, exactly what they're doing and what they're offering, and they know how to present their services or products as a better option for the consumer, for the clients, for the customers, every single one of them. Your real estate business is no different. And how you would introduce this conversation to a seller on a listing appointment, if you have to, if you get to the end of your appointment, you ask them to sign and they don't, and they say, I'm interviewing other agents, you're going to say, Mr. Seller, I know you mentioned to me over the phone that you were interviewing so-and-so and so-and-so, and I took the liberty to actually look up some of their statistics for the last 12 months because I felt that that would be helpful for you in choosing the best agent for the job. Let me show you what I found, Mr. Seller. And now you take out your stats. That's how you do it. Okay? It's not like, and you're just sharing what is. That's what you're doing. And now you're going to have this dialogue on presenting how it would benefit them to hire you instead of those two agents. Obviously, if you ask who they're interviewing and they don't tell you, well, then this is an irrelevant conversation. You're not going to, irrelevant in terms of, doing the report card and being able to use it, but there are definitely different ways to handle this objection. We'll continue on this on the next lesson. I'll see you soon.